What's going on, everybody? It's the Hook Cam back again with another film breakdown. Really, it's more of a film preview. I wholeheartedly believe the Chiefs are going to beat the Texans this weekend, and I really want to display a little bit of why I believe that. One of the reasons is their play on third down, and I went back and I watched a little bit of the Chiefs-Texans game from Week 6. I watched a little bit of the the Bills-Texans game from this last weekend on Wild Card Weekend, and one thing that I constantly notice with the Texans on third down is cover one. Okay, now this is from Week 6, and the Chiefs are going to burn the Texans on cover one. What they're going to do is they're going to run their running back on a little wheel over here. They're going to essentially set a little pick route with both of these receivers, creating way too much traffic for this guy to get through. Okay, now again, it's cover one. It's press cover one. It's very simple. Anybody who's got any sort of education in football can see this. Texans sitting it right as that running back wheels out, and we create that traffic right here. You can see this backer right here just gets stonewalled. Really good play. Really good play design. Love everything about it. Again, it's one of the things that I think Andy Reid does very, very well is create these pick plays, create these patterns where backers or whoever's playing in the box, 37 in this situation, you're going to see him try and fly out with the back, right? Boom, gets stuffed right there by Kelsey. Andy Reid is one of the best in the NFL at doing that. And then we're going to go back to the Texans-Bills game, right? And we're going to see basically the exact same thing, okay? Here we have our cover one. There's our deep safety. Now, they're going to run it a little bit differently this time. A little bit differently, okay? In this situation, as the back wheels out, their end, right, Whitney Merciless right here is going to trail with him. He can do this for a couple of reasons. Number one is because he's only to a single receiver side, right? So we know that this cat's going to lock up this cat, and he's going to be able to fly out with that. You also do it so that you can create less traffic, right, for your guy who's trying to cover. Now, most backs who are running with linebackers are going to beat him. Right, Whitney Merciless does a really good job of trailing in this situation, and he does a good job of hanging with the back on this, and Josh Allen obviously checks it down to his receiver running across the field, number 2, who was in the bunch side of the formation on the other side. But I believe that Andy Reid is going to do a much better job of creating that traffic up front and forcing the Texans to try and run with backs and forcing them to fight over picks, to just creating traffic for them, right? Just creating a mess for them to try and get through in order to cover their backs, and he does it in a number of ways. It's not just with the back. It's in a number of different situations. So in this situation, right, again, we have another third down. Okay, it's the consistency that I'm finding, and yes, a lot of teams do this, but I'm just saying in this situation, right, Texans-Chiefs, they showed it earlier. Okay, once again, third down, cover one, there's your safety, and it's pretty simple. We are locked up across the board, no questions asked, right? Not necessarily, when you're in the NFL, you have the athletes to run it, so it's okay, right? But you're going to end up getting yourself in a situation where you've got a kid like Travis Kelce who's matched up with a defensive back, right? Now, he gets, I wouldn't say worked a little bit on this, but he definitely gets that friction. He's looking for more of a penalty. He ends up not getting that completion, right? But you can see Mahomes check it, right? He knows it's pretty simple. It's going to be a five-man pressure. All right, they're going to bring heat, and you got to throw hot. He does the right thing. Now, again, I think that this is he had an ankle injury at this point in the season, if I'm not mistaken. Now, not saying that he's going to nail that pass 10 times out of 10 now, but he's definitely, I believe, with the rest of the bye week, that's why winning Week 17 was so important to the Chiefs. I think he's got a better chance to complete that ball. Now, here we are again, another third down case scenario. Now, what you're saying, Cam, we got too high here. We got too high. Not a chance to cover one. Just kidding. We're going to drop down right here. We're going to drop our field safety, and it's going to roll right into cover one. Again, I don't think the Texans can do this and run with the Chiefs receivers. Last time the Chiefs played the Texans, they had a couple of big guys out, okay? Defensively, Chris Jones. Offensively, a guy like Sammy Watkins, not a dude. A guy that's going to thrive if he's forgotten about in a defensive game plan. Okay, a guy who's going to win a lot of one-on-one matchups and who's going to do well against a coverage like this. But it is the consistency that I have found with the Texans when watching just a little bit of film on them, right? They like to go cover one and third down. They like to have their athletes run around, and they believe that they're going to be able to beat teams in that situation. Now, the one other thing that I think the Chiefs are going to cause a lot of problems with is when they go empty, okay? Because the empty check for the Texans, you guessed it, cover one. Okay, and a lot of teams do this. Again, I'm not just putting the Texans on blast, but a lot of teams are going to do this. But look at this, man. The Bills aren't the best in the league at running patterns that are going to cause problems for defenses, right? That's not the strength of their team. They're a ground and pound team. They have their matchups that they like with guys like Cole Beasley, but a lot of times it's beating guys with the strength of Josh Allen, right? But in the Chiefs playbook, they have a lot more patterns. I mean, look at this, and this is one of the things that I'm talking about, right? In the middle of the field, okay, middle of the field, this is the only guy you have, the safety at 5'10", 13 to 15 yards back. That is a ton of space. Now he's dropping even farther. That's a ton of space that the Bills just don't take advantage of. He's shutting down his route, not even over the ball. If I were him, I would be telling him to work more across the field because you have more open space and they're just locked up in man. I don't understand why the Bills didn't take advantage of this. Josh Allen casually hurdling an NFLer, by the way. Insane. Okay, so that was the offensive side of things, and I want to move a little bit more to the defensive side of things because if you're a Chiefs fan, I know what you're thinking. Well, Cam, we gave up, I believe it was 20 points in the second quarter, 20 or 23 points in the second quarter. A big part of that is because the Texans pounded the rock. I believe Carlos Hyde went like 24 carries for 116 or 16 carries for 116, something like that. The Chiefs were doing something very specific to the Texans' offense in week 6, okay? And you're going to see it right here with this one tech. Okay, they were stunting this one tech across the center's face. Now, what you try to do with that is you try to open up a lane, right, for your backers to shoot. You're hoping that this guard is going to follow that and that this defensive tackle is basically going to eat up 2 offensive linemen, okay? But Texan center does a really good job of just staying patient and letting this dude get across his face, and there's the gap that opens up. Okay. Now, the other thing is that there has been much better play out of the Chiefs' defensive front in recent weeks than there was in week 6. I mean, the Chiefs got shredded in week 6, but the Chiefs have changed their defense up a little bit. It's a little bit different. Here's another example of it. We're going to see that one tech stunt right across the face of the center. It's going to open up a big old gap for Carlos Hyde to run through. Okay. Carlos Hyde's a tough runner. No questions about it. But watch what we see from the end zone on this once again so that you guys can see it. Stunning across the face right there. You're going to see the gigantic lane it opens up right here, okay, and the backers don't fill. Obviously, when you're running a defense, okay, you want everything to be gap sound. So in this situation, you're going to cross face here. You want him to fill and him to fill, okay? So that nose tackle, or excuse me, that one texting across face, his gap is this play side A gap for the offense. This backer is flat-footed, so is this one. Right? Not a good look for this defense. These guys need to be filling right now. Okay? Everything else is going to get taken care of by your defensive backs. You're going to force everything back into the middle of the field. Texans do a really good job with misdirection. Okay? But remember, this is week 6. New defensive coordinator. New moving pieces to this whole thing. Okay, now we're going to fast forward a little bit. Game against the Bears. I believe this is week 14 or 15, okay? Not the greatest offense in the world. And I'm not going to sit here and tell you, oh, they dominated the Bears, so they're going to dominate the Texans. No. But the play of these players individually and technique-wise has been way better than it was in week 6. And it's something that needs to be noted. This Chiefs defense is coming to play, okay? Outstanding job by this defensive tackle on the guard, okay? Watch our defensive tackle right here. I believe it's number 99 on this right guard. Okay, he does a really good job of staying in his gap, right? Different philosophy now. In previous weeks, like we saw in week 6 against the Texans, that defensive tackle was stemming across the face of the center. Now we're playing in our gap. It's much more basic football, man on man. You can be a better football player than him. Keep your nose in your gap and let's play. Let our guys go. Let the athletes run, right? Really good job by this defensive tackle getting his arm out there, creating some traffic for him to run through, right? And making the tackle. Linebackers cleaning that thing up. Outstanding job, okay? Now, the other thing that I want to bring up is the absence of a couple of players in that Texans game. No Chris Jones, right? Massive football player for the Chiefs. We all know that Chiefs defense thrives on Chris Jones, okay? Anthony Hitchens wasn't there. Offensively, Andrew Wiley was a guard. He's the I believe the left guard for the Chiefs. Eric Fisher, left tackle for the Chiefs. Sammy Watkins, like I said before, not there. Right? Those are key pieces that the Chiefs didn't have against the Texans that are going to be there this time. Now, one more example of how this Chiefs defense is playing better. Also, Mike Pennell. dude that was on the Patriots roster for a little bit early in the season. Chiefs scoop him up. I think it was midseason, probably after that Texans game. And this dude's had a great impact for the Chiefs. Watch this play, right? 3-tech working on this guard. Talk about replacing that line of scrimmage or pushing that line of scrimmage back a yard. Watch this thing from the wide view. Okay, watch how deep into the backfield this cat gets. This is an outstanding job of reestablishing the line of scrimmage. Boom. He's a yard and a half into the backfield, right? Melvin Gordon, good running back, has got nowhere to go. He's got no chance on this play. So when we're talking about the Chiefs-Texans, those are the reasons I believe the Chiefs are going to play better. I think that they have played better technique-wise throughout the latter weeks of the season. They've got momentum. They've got guys back who weren't there earlier in the year when they played the Texans. And I think it's going to be a different Chiefs team. I really do. I think the Chiefs I don't think they're going to roll, but I think they're definitely going to play better than they did in Week 6. So that's my little preview for this game. That's what I saw from the Chiefs and what they're doing better. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm the Hook Cam. If you did enjoy, please, if you could, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It would mean the world to me. That's about all I got for you guys this time. And yeah, I'll see you next time.